when we left Danzig, we stopped on the way.
This was you and your sisters?
Yeah, all us together. My cousin Hannah remained behind.
In Danzig?
In Danzig, because she was supposed to go to us, but we left with like 90% of the kibbutz. But we traveled from Sosnowiec to the border with Czechoslovakia. We were as Greek refugees going back home. They had, like at least from the Red Cross, and we went to in order to pass to the border, the Polish Czechoslovakia border. To we not
Danzig at this point was considered part of Poland?
Yeah, Danzig was Poland, of course. Poland stretched then until the order. They took away all East Germany. Breslau was part of Poland. The order was the border. But let's go back. When we left, we passed the border with Poland, Czechoslovakia. They told us not to speak Polish or Yiddish. They should think we are Greek repatriate going back to our home. In the minute we passed Czechoslovakia, I don't know, for some reason, we went to Bratislava in Hotel Jan. It was the same place from where I started my journey back to Danzig. In Bratislava we stayed, I don't remember, a few days, and then we went to Karlsbad, which was part of the Sudeten, but now it's from Tradate was Germany, but after the war the Czech drove out all the German population, and all the beautiful hotels there were occupied by people who were returning to their country, refugees. All in this sanitary condition was terrible. We didn't stay there long, because in the middle of the night we had to take our packages and walk over in the dark the Czech and German border. I don't remember, but a few hours. We had guides. It was actually an organization called Bricha, which they organized all the smuggling from the people through the borders. It was directed by apart from the Jewish agency, mostly was soldiers from the Jewish brigade who were then in Europe, and they were part from the higher echelon from the Bricha. We came in the morning. I forgot the name of the town, but they had that
in Germany,
on the border, and where we were able to get some food and rest a little bit, and then we got by railroad to München. In München, the München Museum was
München is Munich in English.
Yeah, Munich. This in Munich, the museum in Munich was a station for all refugees who came there. Hundreds and hundreds stayed there overnight. We stopped in Munich. I think we slept over, and then we continued to which is was under the French occupation, which is Wittenberg, the land of Wittenberg, and this is east-west of Germany. And from we got to a former Nazi soldiers' camp, and where was Biberach was it called, the town, and then in those camps, now we were as we set up our kibbutz, but from there in Biberach we weren't long, and then we were transferred to Jordanbad. Jordanbad was a place run by the Catholic nuns. It was like
monastery.
No, there was part, but they operated a hotel where SS officers after the hospital stay, they went to recuperate to this place. It was a beautiful, like in a forest, a hotel. But the nuns ran it, and when we were there, they cooked our food, they cleaned our rooms, and we actually had there we drilled a lot, and a lot of talks in shiurim, lectures. We learned Hebrew, but like school, we learned a lot in preparation to go to Israel. The kibbutz, we were actually together 3 kibbutzim who were important in different towns in Poland. We settled in Jordanbad. It was a very lively place. Every day they got together for assemblies and singing, and then we were chosen, Zahava and me, and Zahava's boyfriend, and other 20 people from the group were chosen as to go to Israel. But to go to Israel wasn't so simple. First,
so at this point you were being separated from Anya and Berta?
Yes, we were separated, and we got. I forgot. In the meantime, being in Jordanbad, we made contact with our uncle and cousins in Switzerland. And
what were their names?
Pache, my uncle Shlomo Pache, and his 2 daughters, Miriam and Annette. And because this was close to the Swiss border, Zahava and me took once a train to Constance. Constance was on the border from Switzerland, a town, and it was a beautiful town. And we made up with my uncle with his daughter should come to the border, and we should be able to meet and talk. In the meantime, they weren't Swiss citizens. They couldn't come over to us, but through the border. It was very chaotic. We talked, and they had actually.
How far apart were you from each other?
Quite. I don't remember exactly how far, but they had. We weren't alone. There were a lot of people. It was very chaotic. This conversation, but I could see my uncle from far, and my in my cousins, and they had actually a suitcase with things, but they couldn't give it to us. So we were disappointed that we couldn't, get close, but we were satisfied and went back to Jordan. But and then around April we were chosen to go to the Aliyah.
How long were you in Jordan back?
A few months, because in April, the beginning of April, we started our journey to Israel.
And when did you arrive there?
Israel, we arrived.
No, and when did you arrive in Jordan back?
After we arrived a few months before, after Birnbach, which was close to Jordan,
so sometime in January
they transferred us
46 or February?
No, wasn't. Maybe it was New Year's or before we arrived in Biberach. We weren't too long. Then we transferred to Jordan, but from there sometimes we walked to the town to see movies. Let me start. In order to get to Israel, first we had to cross the border to Austria. In Austria, we got to Innsbruck, a town near the Alps. And there we met our the kibbutz which remained in Danzig. They arrived at the same time to Innsbruck, and of course we were very happy to meet my cousin.
Which cousin?
Hannah, yeah. Hannah was always with my sisters together. She was considered like a fourth sister. I should say, in our journey as refugees, there was no problem sleeping. The floor was big enough. Everybody slept on the floor without. We were used to it. We felt quite good. In Innsbruck, I'll never forget you see the Alps far away, but it's most beautiful sight to see from. I don't know how far it is, but it looks so close in the background. From Innsbruck, they took us in trucks, which was belongs to the UNRWA. This was an agency,
United Nations Refugee Agency.
Yeah, yes. In two was directed by the Bricha. In the we got on trucks. They covered us. They shouldn't see what people are inside. In the past to the Brenner's Pass, the beauty of this journey, I couldn't. It's unbelievable. Going up, until we went down to, and when we got already in the other side of Italy, we could see Lombardia, like down there, and everything was blossoming. From there we got to a place. What was it called? Over Shabbos we stayed there. We arrived in I knew
already in Italy.
In Italy, and they have a place where the Bricha had like a room, a house.
How many were you at the time?
Quite a big group. I don't remember, like 50, but for another kibbutzim. Quite, it wasn't. It was quite a lot of people, youngsters like us. But we felt ourselves like the chosen one, that they were chosen from the whole kibbutz to leave the first one. It was a privilege. In there. What was
When did you arrive in Italy?
about April.
April 46.
Before Passover. The first Passover, we were already in Tradate, in this close camp. The name of the town I don't remember, but there we met Morley Weinstein the first time. He was the leader of this place. He worked in the Bricha, and he made that impression with his boots and dressed like nicely. He was a young man and with a nice voice, and he was the leader of this house. And we stayed there over Shabbos, and then we were transferred to Tradate. I think about this.